Ladies and gentlemen, from the depths of flyover country in the heartland of America, the Kansas City on the other side of the mighty Mo, welcome to Hittin the Bricks with Kathleen, the do-it-yourself genealogy podcast with your questions and her answers. I am John, your humble hubby host, and today we'll be chatting with Lauri Jean Swett and Ashley Arnett about the upcoming Genealogy KC conference here in Kansas City. There's a lot to cover, so let's start Hittin the Bricks. Hey, baby.
He's so silly. Don't laugh, Ashley. Don't encourage it.
So what are we doing today, Kathleen?
So, John, you've heard me talk about Lauri Jean Swett quite a bit.
Yep.
Lauri Jean and I have known each other since 2008. At that, she was the first person I met in the genealogy world.
Oh, wow.
And then Ashley Arnett is part of the Genealogy KC. I haven't met you, Ashley.
Ashley, I feel like I have less information on you. So we'll start with you, Ashley. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you're representing, why you're here, and all that fun stuff?
Okay. Well, I'm Ashley. I always have to introduce my family. I have 4 little children and a wonderful husband. We live in the Blue Springs area near Kansas City. And I had the privilege of teaching at Genealogy KC last year. With my mother, we did a keynote part together. And then this year, my husband and I have the privilege to help be co-chairs of the conference. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints they host the conference, and so I'm a member of that church, so sometimes it changes who is in charge, and I have the privilege of doing that this year.
And Ashley, how long has it actually been going on, Genealogy KC?
I believe it's been going, Laura can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been going on since 2013, I believe.
That sounds
was the first
right.
year it was held.
And then, John, we also have Lauri Jean. So if we could talk about Lauri Jean a little bit before we get started.
Thank you. Kathleen and I met in 2008, and I give her a lot of credit for the professional genealogist I am today. I'm a researcher, writer, presenter, and volunteer, and also a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. As Ashley said, Genealogy KC has been going on since about 2013. It's all volunteer speakers, and Kathleen has graciously given us some of her time in the past as a presenter. And I have been a part of it, both as a presenter and a past committee member.
So Lauri Jean mentioned that I had done part of the Genealogy KC, and I was the keynote speaker for year 2 and 3, and presenting there in year 1, I believe. So it was quite exciting to have them on the podcast, because I know the value of this particular conference because there's so many speakers. And John, I know that Lauri Jean also worked at the Family History Centers. Can you tell us about that? And I probably called it wrong, so just correct me.
For those of us who have been around a long time, we still refer to them as Family History Centers. They are now called Family Search Centers. And yes, I volunteer. All these name changes.
Don't change the name. I know.
We can't keep up.
But yes, Family Search Centers are typically located within or right next to our meeting houses. They have consultants there who volunteer to help those who come in with their genealogy questions and finding their ancestors. We have resources that are not available outside of a Family Search Center, additional records, as well as free access to several of the subscription websites are available at Family Search Centers. And I currently volunteer at the Platte City Family Search Center, and it is open both on the morning and the evening on Wednesdays.
And are there several of those in Kansas City? I mean, I know I used to go to quite a few.
Post-pandemic, they're slow to recover, but each Family Search Center should have a Facebook page or a Family Search Wiki page that can tell you their hours and give you a number to contact if you have questions.
I want to make sure that people know that anybody can go. You do not have to be a Latter-day Saints. Is that correct?
That is correct. It is open to everybody, and most of our visitors are not members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We welcome everyone.
You guys are saying Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Okay, where does Mormon come in? You see what I'm saying?
Is
that Mormonism or?
Everyone else calls it Mormonism.
Okay.
And it comes from the fact, so we study the Bible, but we have another book of scripture called the Book of Mormon.
Right.
And so when that was brought about, everyone else started calling us Mormons because that's what differentiated us in the Christian community. So they knew which. But we're called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Is Mormon out of favor? Like we shouldn't refer to it as Mormon?
The church has encouraged us to call ourselves in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So nobody's going to get offended if you call us that way, but we prefer the name of the church. One of the big reasons is because when we are called Mormons, we remove the name of Jesus Christ from our church, and that's who we focus on. And
that's really good to know.
We've been talking about a conference. Let's get the details on the conference for everyone. Go.
Okay. So Genealogy KC this year is held on August 23rd. It is from 9 to 4:30, and it has a little bit different of a layout this year. Before we had many classrooms filled with various teachers. This year, our leaders wanted to streamline it a little bit. And so we have kind of a combination of a main room conference of just a single room, but every now and then we break out into some classes, but then we come back together. So it'll start the day with our keynote speaker, who's Benjamin Hoff, and he's a good friend of mine. He's really amazing. And he will speak to us about the past within us. And he's a music arranger and composer for lots of movies that everyone knows, Wicked and Sonic the Hedgehog, like a bunch of awesome movies. And he will be speaking about how the past carries through with us, even through music, through other means. And so that will be exciting. And then we will have some classes in the main room. And then every hour or so, it'll switch to where you can pick a class. And then we'll come back to the main room all together. There'll be a lunch break, and it's going to be great.
Where is this going to be held?
Actually, I have that it's at 6751 Northeast 70th Street, and that's in Northland.
It's right off 435 and Cersei Creek Parkway. The temple is hard to miss. It has the Angel Moroni up on top, and it's the meeting house right next to the temple where it has mostly been held.
I want to also mention some of the speakers beside the keynote speaker. Lauri Jean is one of the speakers. And what will you be speaking about?
I am presenting a case study. Did Zacharias become Charlie? So I'll be introducing both Zacharias and Charlie, and then I'll be going through the process of creating a genealogy proof and then working through the documents that hopefully prove Zacharias changed his name to Charlie.
Oh, well, we don't want to have any spoilers. Put your hand down, Kathleen. This is not a question for you. Put your hand down.
So, John, one of the things about what Lauri Jean's presentation sounds like, tell me if I'm wrong, Lauri Jean, it sounds like you're teaching methodology through a case study. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. When something is not proven by a set of documents that point specifically to a single answer, Zacharias disappears from the record. There isn't a specific record that says Zacharias, a.k.a. Charlie.
This is a very important part of genealogy. It's our inferential proof so that we can come to conclusions or we can give options.
That is correct. And Kathleen is wonderful at breaking through the brick walls. And that's why her podcast is named Hitting the Bricks.
That's no spoiler in that.
I'm going to let Lauri Jean talk about what the Heartland Group is, because I notice a lot of the speakers are from our APG Society of Heartland.
Session 5 will be full of APG Heartland members. Heather Jenkins, who was on the podcast earlier, will be presenting on research road trips and what you need to do to prepare for them. Kim Alberg will be talking about in plain sight, finding facts in old family photos. and John Manning will be talking about one family's journey from Ireland to Nebraska. And it's sad that they're all at the same time, but they are three excellent speakers.
How am I going to divide my time, Ashley? How am I going to do this?
I know. Well, we're lucky because some of the presenters are agreeing to let us record some of them and to possibly have them on the website for limited time, so people can come in if there is one that they missed that they would like to see. It'll be up for limited time for some of our classes.
And again, I'm excited to hear that Kim is also presenting. Kim was one of our librarians at the Midwest Genealogy Center before she retired. I'm happy to hear that she's going to be presenting also. She's a great presenter.
As well as current staff at the Midwest Genealogy Center will also be presenting.
Oh, wow. Who's that?
We have probably 4 of them, I think, this year.
Sherry Golden and Mary Dempsey are the 2 that I recognize right off the top of my head.
And then...
Yes.
Yeah, then we've got Sherry Volk.
Yes.
Yep.
And John Mason, who's an archivist.
Wonderful. So this is really a lot of local speakers, and I love that part also because it means we're giving them a different voice. It's not just for Missouri, Kansas City area. I know I have friends who come down almost every year from Iowa, and I love that. And what is the attendance supposed to look like, Ashley?
Right now, we're about at 150 in person. And then for the main room, we are doing a virtual streaming for the main room classes. And we have about 50 people registered for the virtual attendance. And it goes up every day. Every day we're having more and more registration. So it's wonderful to see.
Ashley, you said that you did a presentation one year with your mother. What was that on?
Yeah, so last year, so I was part of the keynote speaker, and then I taught 3 other classes during the conference. With my mother, we did a presentation. The theme was Roots and Branches, and we talked about how our ancestors influence who we are now and how that translates into our legacy. So connecting the roots and the branches together, and it was kind of cool doing that with my mom because, we were different parts of that. So we got to talk about different traditions that your family has, how to involve not just your genealogy enthusiasts in your family, but how to find things for everyone in your family to participate, because there's so many different things you can do. Whether people in your family like to cook, you can save recipes and put those on your family trees of what recipes your ancestors cooked or things that you like to cook, and then pass that down for generations, and just things like that, connecting the roots and the branches together.
So just the other day, speaking of food and genealogy, I put a post up on social media because there's a cookbook from 1916 sandwiches, and one was a sardine sandwich. Well, I love sardines. It makes John just kind of retch a little bit. But
she and the dog love that. She and the dog shared a lovely lunch.
And I decided the 1916 recipe needed to be spruced up. So I made 5 changes to it. So instead of white bread, it was a croissant. You add arugula to it, and tomatoes and onions. It wasn't just smashed sardines. So it was really a fun thing. And I put my picture up versus the original recipe that the poor guy put up there in 1916. But now, Ashley, speaking of which...
But we digress.
We digress. So, Ashley, tell us a little bit more about registering.
All right. It's super simple. You just go to GenealogyKC.org, and there's a tab on there that says Genealogy KC 2025, and you click on that, and then you just scroll down a little bit, and it says registration. There is, it's called booking. You're going to book a spot, but you're just going to go on there and fill out your information, pick if you're going to attend in person or virtually. And then you just sign up, put your information in, and then that's it. And then you'll just check in at the conference.
Oh, so
okay.
you are able to attend virtually?
You are, just for the main room, the ones that we will have in the chapel.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if you attend in person, you have the option to be able to attend those split off classes. But if you decide to just attend virtually, then you will only be able to see those, unless we are able to post some of those classes later.
It's important to note that registration is free. The speakers are volunteering their time so that there is no fee to attend the conference, either virtually or in person.
Well, that's a huge note. Let's put that up front again with a couple big stars by it, because this is there is no registration fee. There is no cost to do this. So that's wonderful.
Especially all these genealogists that are coming on a Saturday, taking their time and volunteering like that. We're very grateful for them.
However, John, my favorite topic, food. What about lunch? It's an all-day conference.
Oh, you're talking about,
Tell me about lunch.
I thought you were talking about now. Well, I think we can discuss that after we finish the podcast, honey. I mean...
She's like, I'm impatient. Let's do it now.
Yeah, that was rude.
He needs no encouragement, Ashley. So please...
Sorry, I'm feeding off of it.
So tell me a little bit about how do people handle their lunches while attending the conference?
Yeah, so last year we did have a lunch option where people could pay and have a lunch, have it catered. This year, we decided to not do that option. So there will be, but there on the website, I have links to Google Maps of different locations of fast food sit-down restaurants that are really close by. There should be about an hour and 10 minutes for lunch, so it should be plenty of time. You're more than welcome to bring a lunch. We don't have a cooler space, so bring something that won't go bad, but we'll have tables set up in the main hall, and we encourage everyone, if they want to go grab some food and come back and sit and network, or if you want to DoorDash, we have the website on the schedule there next to the lunch. So if you would like to DoorDash something to the building, you're more than welcome to do that.
Okay.
Great solution.
I forgot my other question.
I think you were going to bring up like Quick Trip jalapeno hot dogs or something, weren't you?
That's my type of lunch. Ashley, yes. You mentioned that you are a mother of 4 little ones. Is that what you are full-time mothering? Because that sounds like a full-time job.
Yes, that is my full-time job. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I am not a professional genealogist, but I am an enthusiast and I do it on my own time. But yes, my oldest is turning 7 and my youngest is turning 2. So we have a full household and it is a wild adventure. It is fun.
That sounds like fun. And then Lauri Jean, tell us a little bit about your business.
I specialize in Scandinavian and Midwestern research. I like to present to local societies, and you will typically find me once a year presenting to the Northland Genealogical Society, which has recently changed its name to the Greater Kansas City Genealogical Society.
Another name change.
Another name change for us to put in our heads. The Johnson County Genealogical Society in Kansas, as well as Topeka, has a very active genealogical society, and I participate off and on in one of their special interest groups.
Wonderful. So Lauri Jean did a lot more when she was going through our program, A3 Genealogy, as an intern into a professional researcher. She did a lot more than just Scandinavian. I wasn't about to let her get away with that. So she got a lot more experience.
That's what I specialize.
That's her specialty.
And that's where you will get.
Mm-hmm. You're very comfortable with the Scandinavian records.
Absolutely.
So, Lauri Jean, what was it that put you sent you in that direction?
My mother was an extreme hobbyist in genealogy. So she had me in a family search center coloring while she looked at Norwegian records. And she'd let me, as a little one, jump up and come push the copy button and then tell me about the person she had just found in the record she had just found them in. So she developed a love of genealogy in me.
That's neat.
Yeah. And John, when I met Lauri Jean in 2008, her mother was there with us, I think.
Yes, she was.
Or did I meet her later, Lauri Jean?
No, the first time you met her was at the conference because it...
Yes, that was exciting.
Because it was here in Kansas City, and she wasn't going to let me not go to it, and she was going to stay with me. So that's how that worked out.
Chaperoned at your conference.
And so now, Ashley, you mentioned that you're not a professional genealogist, meaning that you don't take clients, but it sounds like you've done quite a bit.
Yeah, kind of like Lauri Jean, my mom huge in genealogy. So she has been doing genealogy my whole life. And I remember even for show and tell one year when I was, I think it was like in 5th grade, she found that we were related to a king and he was like 26th great grandfather or something like that. And so she printed out for me my genealogy all the way back up to him. And I brought that to school and I still have it in my keepsake box. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And I was terrified to start because my mom had done so much on Family Search. And, you know, with Family Search, it's a shared tree. And so I didn't want to mess anything up. But when I was around, I think I was around 18 when I started, 17, 18, when I got into it. And I got the bug. It got me. And so I don't have all the time in the world to work on it right now, but I love it very much. And I especially love preserving photos and videos and digitizing, doing that kind of stuff. That's something I do a lot of and I've done for family and friends. And so that's something I really enjoy.
Very important work too. Digitizing, getting everything in there.
Sean, I don't want to leave out the co-chair. Your husband's name is what?
My husband's name is Zach Arnett. He is working right now. He has a full-time job. He is helping me prepare the conference this year.
Are there any other questions you all have for us or you want to share with us?
Yeah, I want to make sure if you have any social media or anything like that for any causes, anything that you're associated with that you want to flog, then let's
Lauri
take some
Jean
time
did not share the company name.
ID Research is Genealogy by Lauri Jean. I have a blog on genbylj.wordpress.com. It is mostly about my own ancestors, though. And we did not talk about networking and how important it is as genealogists to make those connections.
Yes.
And so I want to encourage people to attend Genealogy KC in person so that they can meet other genealogists and be inspired by them and encouraged, because some of us do not have family members who are as excited about genealogy and don't care what we found in some old dusty record. But another genealogist will be excited for you. And unless it's just before my presentation, come up and talk to me, because I will be happy to help you feel comfortable and wanted.
That's one of the themes that keeps arising through this podcast that I've noticed is connection is really important. Not just your family connections, but it's connection over love of a similar passion. Genealogists seem ready to share that.
Yes. So, Ashley, are there tables or anything at this conference where people can meet other people?
We were a little nervous with not providing a lunch because we were worried people wouldn't be able to network and have that extra time. That's why we put those options of picking up food or DoorDash, bring a lunch if you would want. We will have tables in that main area where I believe if you've been there before, registration's done, and it's in the main hall in the gym area. And so we'll have tables set up there where people can sit and chat. And we also have a transition time of 10 minutes in between each class so that people can stand around, talk. So it's not just, hey, rush from one class to the next. We want people to be able to stand, talk about what they learned or meet new people. And so we were having areas where people can do that.
Wonderful.
Great.
So I would say if anyone has any questions or wants to be notified of Genealogy KC, our website is kind of like the go-to place at genealogykc.org. We have an X page. Again, name changes. An X page. We have a Facebook and Instagram, and we try to post whatever we post on the website on there as well. But also on the website, there's a blog where we put updates to the conference. So anything you want to know about future conferences, if you want to teach at the conference, if you want to contact us and volunteer your time, everything is there, our contact information, any questions you could possibly have. So that is a good place to go.
And we will post those on our show notes for this podcast.
Side note about food. There will be light refreshments there the whole time. So if you get a little snackish or you want to go take a break, there'll be some refreshments and water and things there. So we won't provide a full lunch, but we will have refreshments for everyone.
I think this sounds good.
Well, refreshments always sound good. It was wonderful meeting both of you, and thank you so much for taking the time to come and tell us about what a great opportunity Genealogy KC
and
is.
John, you need to prepare for a flogging.
Yes, I will be.
For your behavior on this one.
I will be putting on the sackcloth and joining you in the room of punishment.
Thank you both for taking the time to promote Genealogy KC.
We're excited.
Welcome.
We're excited about it, and I will be there. I think I enrolled correctly. I'll double check.
Well, congratulations. You made it to the end of another episode. Thanks so much for staying. Thanks to Lauri and Ashley for stopping by. Thanks to Chewy Chewbacca Brandt for his unwavering lack of interest in anything we're doing. And a special thanks to all our listeners for the clicks, downloads, questions, and support. The theme song for Hittin the Bricks was written and performed by Tony Fistknuckle and the Research Assistants. Watch for the next appearance in the dusty stacks of your local library. Do you have a genealogical question for Kathleen? Drop us a line at hittinthebricks@gmail.com and let us know.